So let's shift gears and come back to your center of gravity.
hmm
Have you been using that at all the way we talked about?
yes, like I said, I started the week, that day, that night, and the next day, just spending a good decent amount of time in the normal things that I do, thinking about just like my body as a whole, feeling the center of gravity. My legs, I think so far, I'm thinking of my legs and their center of gravity slightly above the knee.
Hmm.
I have felt the most difference with that.
Right.
I think that's clicked a little bit more when I
Hmm.
walk and when I'm at cycling class and when I'm just doing random things. Like I really like the way that that tends to free up the hinge of my knee and let my on like the rest of my leg just kind of swing
Hmm. Yeah.
as opposed to feeling like I'm trudging along using my whole leg. It's more of a gravity, swing.
When you're using a center of gravity, like we talked about, a kind of an imaginary arrow running through your legs,
hmm
or your arms above your elbow, or your whole self, that couple inches below your navel, you're really
hmm
when you think to yourself, well, instead of walking, put that word in quotes, meaning really your usual way of walking, I'm going forward, but I'm moving that center that represents all of me. I'm moving that arrow forward, which is a proxy for all of you. It is the from the gravitational fields point of view, all of you is compressed into that infinitesimal point, and then you can use a line through it
Right.
to access it because there is nothing there where that point is. There's not like a joint there or something. There's no landmark.
No, so you just have to sense it.
Well, that's using an arrow that runs through it is just a way of accessing it.
Arrow running through
And
it.
then
Yep.
say, well, instead of walking across the room, I'm simply going to move that arrow across the room. And when it's time
Move the arrow.
to change directions, instead of turning, the term turning, use instead of saying I'm going to turn or thinking I'm going to turn, you think I'm going to rotate the arrow.
Mm.
And the arrow, since it goes through the center of you, is really a way of controlling in a more efficient way you.
Mhm.
And then the sub parts of you, the arms and legs, uh, you know, instead of my arms swinging, that arrow is moving back and forth.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's just a way of bringing more efficiency and ease into your movement.
Okay.
And I want to do one quick experiment, but I want to get to something else. This
Okay.
might be a slightly longer class. You got enough time?
It's fine. It's just my kids might elephant in here at 5:45 and I'll
Oh,
take that.
I think this will be good. So if you could, do you have a book handy that you could put on the floor and stand, move the chair out of the way, get a book,
How
put it,
how big of a
put it
book?
in any kind of a book. Just something, I want something that you would pick up from the floor.
Oh, okay. I see what you
Doesn't
mean.
have to be a book, just an
We're
object of some
we're
kind.
just we're gonna practice picking this up and down off the floor 100
Yeah,
times, aren't
exactly.
we? I know
And
where you're going with this.
right where you are, just put it on the floor and then walk away from it a little bit. Okay, and turn around. Okay, and now let's say you're walking in a moment, you're walking to the book and you realize, oh, there's a book there. I want to pick it up and continue walking. Or I
Okay.
want to maybe a little better. I want to pick it up and just hold it.
Okay.
Just do that. Just
Okay.
over, and whenever you feel like it, just pick it up. and have it there. Okay, now put the book back down again.
I
Good.
probably shouldn't have picked up a Bible.
Uh-oh, uh-oh. I think God's going to be fine with this.
Be so proud of me.
I think so. So this time, um, use that arrow running through you 2 inches below your navel and move. You're standing there, you see the book, and you want to pick it up. So you use the arrow to bring yourself somewhere fairly close to the book, and then when you're within reaching distance, you use the arrow, you lower it, you lower the arrow for you.
Like lower the arrow like horizontally down or tip the
Yes,
arrow.
down, you move the arrow in such a way that it facilitates you doing what you have to do to get your hands on the book.
I was accidentally kind of thinking of that the first time.
Yeah. So just
But
do that. You're using the arrow to move there, and then you're using the arrow to help you get your hands where they'll need to be to pick up the book. And then when you've got your hands around the book, use your arrow to come back up to standing.
okay.
Just play with that. Now, was that a different picking up experience than the first time?
Yes, it actually was a little bit better. Like I said, I did accidentally start thinking of it the first time, but I just allowed myself to maybe be more be more present and aware
And,
of the arrow.
and did you notice a different process of picking it up? Because the video
Yeah.
is going to show this really clearly. The
Uh-huh.
first time, both times you bent your knees somewhat, but the second time you were using your hip, knee, ankle joints much more.
Uh-huh.
You were
I,
using them to lower you and not kind of in any way contracting yourself.
uh-huh. Okay. You're right.
Yeah, you look at the video and you will see it's
Uh-huh.
now that's just a little example I wanted to is but put the book away somewhere